Have concluded our shade meeting, and we are going to start matters by the public. Commissioner Weiss, do you mind calling out cards? Thank you.
If you will, I'm going to call out a few names, and if you can make your way to the lecterns on both sides of the chambers, that would help facilitate this. We have Cynthia Briggs, Mr. David Loudon, Christy Freeman, Jeffrey Mogerman, MD, and Natalie Frazier and Linda Smith.
Good afternoon, sir. Please state your name for the record. That's okay. You can go.
It's David London, L-O-N-D-O-N.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Before I,
New glasses.
this wasn't, I had something else to say before I get into what I came here for. I use public transit. I was waiting for the bus, 44 bus on Belvedere and Haverhill. I got blasted by a big dump truck or garbage truck with the pollution at ground level. It's really bad news because I have medical issues with that. Then as I got to the intermodal, as I'm walking to get to the tracks to go walk here, even with a security guard there, someone's doing their marijuana thing. And I'm just listening to someone, a national radio talk show host, who got on a first-class plane, and he's sitting next to someone who's reeking with marijuana smoke. So, anyway, someone on the pollution thing, back 50 years ago, I spoke to a man in Pennsylvania who invented a car that ran on compressed air. He eventually, in the 70s, sold it to the Army. We don't have anything such like that. It's not in Donald Trump's agenda, it's not in Joe Biden's agenda, and not in anyone's agenda where you can just use compressed air. All kinds of patents on that. I've met people. Anyway, so what I was here mainly for, Google had a contest about 20 years ago called the Google 10 to 100 contest. CNN announced it. You can go online and find it. The 5 top winners of the contest were going to get $2 million through a sponsoring institution. Well, that eventually did happen like 18 months later. They changed it a little. They changed the rules of the contest. I entered. I had 2 entries. You can't find any of they got about 150,000 entries. You cannot find any of those entries. I wrote Google originally. I either email, so on. I even had contact with someone more recently who indirectly acknowledged my letter. So here you're using Google. Most of you use Google in the library, whatever. Now you're looking for all kinds of information, but you can't find that. Try to find it. Go on, look at Google 10 to 100. CNN, that'll still be up there. So what I'm suggesting to you, and I have my 2 proposals. It takes about a page and a half. It's about 10 questions. Do something to go after Google. Don't use Google. Do something where you can demand access to all of those ideas. They might be worth looking at. You know, all those 150,000 ideas, including mine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Please state your name for the record.
Hi, I am Christy Freeman, and I'm a resident of Boynton Beach. I am here to ask to protect Nichols Forest, also known as the Boynton Beach Forest. As many of us know, a lyric from a song, they paved paradise and put up a parking lot. For decades, that song reminds us how easy it is to lose something precious and impossible to replace it. We stand at a crossroads. Once this forest is gone, it's gone forever. In 1961, this property was conveyed to the city of Boynton Beach for $1, used for public purpose. I believe preserving this forest for current and future generations is exactly the kind of public purpose that it was intended for. We're not talking about an empty lot. We're talking about one of the last remaining natural forested areas in our community. It provides a wildlife habitat, helps absorb storm water, improves air quality and reduces heat, and gives residents a connection to nature that cannot be recreated with landscaping or development around. A developer may see acreage. We see a living ecosystem. A developer or the city of Boynton may see financial opportunity. We see a community asset. A developer may offer $1 million today, but what is the value of a mature forest once it's destroyed? What is the value of clean air, the wildlife habitat, the green open space for our children, our grandchildren, my grandchildren? Those things cannot be brought back. The question before you is not simply, what is the land worth? The question is, what kind of legacy do we want to leave? What will our future generations say about the commission that protected Boynton Beach's last forest? Or will they say they knew what was special and they did something about it? Please choose preservation. It's an honor. Please honor the public purpose of this land. Please protect Nichols Forest.
I'm going to pause your time. This is in the city of Boynton Beach?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to make sure you know that's not our jurisdiction.
Correct.
We would have no say, zero, over what they do with that forest. Are you aware of that?
I am. There's a lot of little loopholes in it, so I just.
Please inform me. Do you know of a loophole that I'm unaware of, because home rule gives them total authority over that?
Well, from my understanding, Boynton Beach and the city commissioners, the gentleman has bought the land and trying to go forward with building. First it was homes, now it's townhomes.
But that's what I'm saying. If it's in the city of Boynton Beach, the county commission has nothing to do with it and no say over what can be sold, can't be sold, and we have no say over what can or can't be built there. We are only over unincorporated Palm Beach County.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Commissioner Weiss, you may.
Yeah, thank you. I think, Ms. Freeman, I think so there was this came up probably about a year ago, year and a half ago. There are some restrictions on the land that was transferred from Palm Beach County to the city. However, there's a portion of the land that was sold to somebody privately and then eventually transferred to the housing authority, and they sold their portion of the land. And there is no restrictions on that property. On the property that the county transferred to the city of Boynton Beach, there are restrictions, and you all should review those.
Thank you. Please state your name for the record.
Hello, my name is Natalie Frazier, and I'm a resident of Palm Beach County. I live in Arden, and of course, I'm here to oppose Project Tango. Please vote no. There's several reasons why you should vote no. First of all, I know that the governor is signing something on July 1st, and the zoning meeting is July 2nd. Part of that is that the local governments maintain authority to reject data center development in their communities. So you guys have the authority and the power to do that. Some of the things that I wanted to bring up today is that a resident and I have been trying to get public records since February of 2026, since the town hall. And the first thing that we did get was about Project Freya, which has nothing to do with Project Tango. And then we had to escalate it up to the the Attorney General's office to get a response. So we recently have received a cloud link, which we're going to go through. But with only 43 days left for the vote, that doesn't give us enough time to be able to do our own studies, to find out information, or, as many things aren't disclosed. So we're still asking that you still vote no. And then also, we don't have a fire station. We don't know how to combat a fire if there was one. As everybody does know, there is a elementary school 1,200 feet from this proposed data center, and now supposedly another data center, or these data centers that will be proposed. And every child pretty much that goes to those schools lives in the community. So they'll go to school and they'll come home, and they won't have a break from the noise, the pollution, all of the things that come with a hyper AI data center. There's also the fact that this is improper zoning, right? Arden's already built, the school's already built. Why were those approved if this was already approved? They're obviously trying to make changes for something new. So we're asking that you don't allow it to be built until there's better things put in place. We're not against, data centers. We're just against it being so close to our homes. We're against not having the right information. We're against not being protected. Our water, it's just like a pancake level over and over. There's so many issues. So we continue to ask that you vote no. So you still have the power to deny the application. I came to the last meeting here, and I sat here and I watched all of you ask very, very good questions about the speed cameras, and I really appreciate your questions, Mr. Weiss. And you were you asked a lot of great questions, and I think you, Mr. Flores, as well. I hope that you're asking those questions about Project Tango. I hope that you're looking into it. I hope that you're putting our shoes on and realizing that this is not something anyone who lives that close would ever want next to their homes. So thank you all for your time.
Good afternoon. Please state your name for the record.
Cynthia Briggs, and I am a resident of Arden. We must ask ourselves, is this what progress looks like? Gen AI-enabled scams rose 456% between May of 2024 and April 2025. Scammers now have AI that writes perfect phishing emails, clones voices in 3 seconds, creates deep fake video calls, and runs automated romance scams at scale. Global scam losses hit $1 trillion in 2024. AI poses multiple risks to children, including exposure to harmful content, online exploitation, emotional manipulation, educational setbacks, and AI chatbots providing detailed suicide instructions to our children. But now there's an even bigger threat. There are currently 5,426 data centers in the US. It has taken us 250 years to build our beautiful country. It has taken AI 1 year to cause approximately $25 billion in environmental destruction, as reported by the National Bureau of Economic Research. Experts are warning us to stop this takeover, but we are both ignorant and stupid. We are not listening. And in the end, the cost to us will be astronomical and the damage done to our country, catastrophic. The water issue alone should be setting off alarm bells. AI systems consumed an estimated 312 to 764 billion liters of water in 2025. This volume is roughly equivalent to the entire annual global consumption. Let that sink in. Their rapid expansion threatens freshwater supplies. Only 3% of Earth's water is freshwater, and only 0.5% of all water is accessible and safe for human consumption. Fresh water is critical for survival. On average, a human being can live without water for only 3 days. Increasing drought and water shortages are reducing water availability. Meanwhile, data center developers are increasingly tapping into surface and underground aquifers to cool their facilities. Clearly, they don't care if we run out of water. Recently, a tech company approached a Seminole tribal nation in Oklahoma to build a data center. They chose to ban the construction of the data center and maintain environmental protection and sovereignty, arguing that once resources like water are depleted or damaged, the impacts can be irreversible.
Ma'am, your time is up, so if you could wrap it up real quick.
In Ohio, Governor Mark DeWine has pivoted and paused the state's data center tax breaks. In 2025, they said they would lose $1.6 million. Instead, they lost $1.6 billion. Tell these developers they cannot have our state. Moving forward, our #1 priority must be to preserve our wetlands, water systems, wildlife habitats, and to defend our rural communities from overdevelopment.
Ma'am, thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Please state your name for the record.
Good afternoon. I am Jeff Mogerman, and I'm an orthopedic surgeon. We reside in the Fox Trail development in Loxahatchee. And so, I recently officially retired, but I'm still working part-time. And my wife Suzanne and I are deeply concerned regarding the well-being of Wellington and Loxahatchee in particular. For 25 years, we had a seasonal home in Wellington, moving our horses back and forth for the previous 25 years. And then 5 years ago, moved to a larger horse farm in Loxahatchee and made that our permanent home 5 years ago. It is paradise. And I'm sure that the 200 other property owners in the Fox Trail development and the 2,200 property owners in Arden feel the same way. We are not intrinsically against data centers whatsoever. Our problem is that we have not heard sufficient due diligence to make an informed decision, particularly at its planned location. So far, we've heard positive comments only from people who have a financial interest in developing the data centers. We've heard numerous negative comments from homeowners like ourselves who obviously have heard nightmare scenarios, particularly involving a permanent hum that travels for miles around the data centers. We've heard problems regarding heat domes that raise the temperature 10 to 15 degrees. If it's already going to be 95, that would take things to 110 degrees, pretty serious. And there's contamination of the aquifer. So, in summary, we feel we really need a presentation by an objective expert or two regarding the environmental effects of data centers. Our problem is that location, frankly, looks horrible. The hum, the heat, water pollution, these can permanently ruin our lifestyle. Plummeting property values are distressing. Also, our electric bill currently runs $1,400 a month, and we are additionally concerned regarding increasing FPL bills resulting from stress on the grid. We respectfully insist that you vote the will of the people on this issue and vote no on Tango at its present location. Lastly, there's a company called Anthropic and others discussing already working models of data centers, ocean floating, cooling down from ocean water, making their own power from ocean waves, which is infinite. Thank you very much. I'd be glad to answer any questions that anyone may have.
Not seeing any. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Linda Smith, followed by Gail Ladd, and that will be our last card.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Linda Smith, Jupiter, Florida, representing Sierra Club Loxahatchee Group. Continuing my minute and a half from the last May matters by the public. Cutting matters because others take too much time is ingenuous to the public that makes the effort to attend. We support the Nicholas Forest. So I want to continue from last month to encourage you to extend recycling to the 55% of the residents that live in multifamily housing and commercial properties. Continue and expand education of residents and even staff. I continue to pull recyclables out of the waste bins on this floor. It's ridiculous. Consider pay as you throw. I polled residents on my street and they do not need the huge bins that you have provided. They already make less trash than many folks. Why? Because of awareness, caring, and access to recycling. AI hyper data centers. Again, I ask you to direct staff to develop zoning guardrails to protect the health, safety of all of your residents. Hyper data centers are obviously heavy industrial uses. Until that task is completed, pass a moratorium of all hyper data centers. Don't wait for July and wring your hands and claim there is nothing you can do. Please think outside of the box and address the issue now. And finally, funding and Tri-Rail. Tri-Rail is obviously critical to the health and safety of your constituents, reducing traffic, air pollution, and accidents. We need to develop transit hubs with affordable housing at all stops, not just Mangonia Park, as I discussed with you years ago. Again, you claim your hands are tied. Who is tying your hands? Your lack of vision, commitment, and thinking outside of the box. Yes, it will take time, but start now. If there is a site along the Tri-Rail route where workforce housing and commercial development should be, add a stop. Workforce housing and commercial development belongs along transportation infrastructure facilities, not in the ag reserve. Agriculture belongs in the Ag Reserve. Duh. So thank you, Commissioners.
Good afternoon. I'm Gail Ladd from Jupiter. I'm also a member of the Sierra Club. At the risk of being repetitive, I know it's always a good thing to hear things more than once. Data centers are getting a lot of noise in the media and online these days. As a matter of fact, that's one of the issues, noise. Around-the-clock noise from cooling systems, backup generators. There are homes and schools just over a canal away across from where Project Tango is being considered. Another issue is the use of water for cooling. Florida is surrounded by water. We turn on the tap, we're able to readily use it, but at this time, we are all experiencing a drought. Our local water supplies are being threatened by less water replenishing and more population, and now more possible data centers, such as the one named Project Tango, a large data center planned next to the Arden community, which may possibly use thousands of gallons of water daily. A question here is, can that water be recycled by the data center? If that's the plan, data centers should be required to minimize their footprint through modern treatment and reuse strategies rather than defaulting to potable water supplies. Data centers also use high electrical consumption. That cost should not be passed on to local communities, but paid for by the data center. And then there's the question of transparency. All the plans should be out in the open with names of developers and what they plan to do. Did the developers of Arden or the realtors know or share with the prospective buyers that a large warehouse site was so close? It was okayed in 2016 as zoned as light industrial. The Project Tango site seems quite large and heavy industrial. Project Tango is not just warehouses. It will be running 24/7 with its noise, health concerns, and electricity use. That does not, I do not believe, qualify as light industrial. A solution may be the change of zoning, not optimal choice, or perhaps a moratorium for a year until this plan can be researched more carefully. July 15th will be the day. Vote to pause Project Tango. On another note, you can remember, I'm sure, that the county established a recycling program years ago. As an educator, I remember teaching my students the benefits of refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle. We had charts, projects. The schools still show recycled objects, piggy banks, wind chimes. The county gives out bins for each homeowner, yellow and blue. But what about many condos or commercial businesses or restaurants that do not recycle? What about composting? Let's half our refuse. Thank you.
That will conclude matters by the public. We're adjourned.